Pranam Swamiji. So now today we have yet another interesting topic, and that is power of silence. So we are aware of these proverbs from our school days. Speech is silver but silence is gold, or empty vessels make more noise and things like that. So this is today's question, uh, power of silence and spirituality. Even Swamiji has and Sri Ramakrishna has highlighted importance of solitude and importance of spiritual practice. Alone, we should sit and meditate and be a spiritual dynamo. So, could you please tell us as what is the power of silence and how it is related to spirituality? Over to you, Swamiji.
Power of silence. Yes, very few people understands the importance of power of silence. Silence means quiet, rest, absence of sound, stillness, etc. etc. Actually, people are very much, but not comfortable, uncomfortable in silence. Most of the people, they want noise, disturbances, they watch the TV, spend time in music, noise, etc., etc. Silence, keeping quiet, staying alone, they think it is boring. But they do not understand that how power of silence is required to manifest our ability, our talent. So they say silence is a creative. Any creativity needs silence, quiet environment. Quiet environment allows the creative person to develop their talent, to think deeply and do their work. Inspiration always comes in silent environment. Intellectual thinkers, poetry writers, inventors, in all fields seek absolute silence, helps them to make good paper. So they compare silence is like fertilizer for the tree. The growth of tree is fertilizer. Important. Similarly, growth of the people in the right direction, silence is required. So they compare silence as fertilizer, like fertilizer for tree. Then silence, another power of silence is promotes the inner trust and build trust. When you are silent, we turn our thoughts, focus inwards, we lose the charm of the world, we start introspections to see ourselves, analyze ourselves. So these help the inner to build the inner trust and within ourselves. So silence is a factor for this purpose. And silence is a rest, giving the rest. Body slows, rate of breathing slows, our heart drops, rate drops. So there is a body in silence, body gets rest. So they say recharging your battery is silent. Silence is rest. In other way, it is called recharging our battery. Then in silence, we study effectively and productivity will increase. The mental silence can solve many problems of the life and finds ways to do difficult tasks. You see, big artists, scientists, they how many hours they spend in silence, in alone, no disturbances from outside. The mind is busy, focused, and they discover their talent, a great musician, a great writer, a great poet. Every place you find the silence is important, play important role to manifest their potentiality. Silence also is a kind of respect. How we stand up when the great silence becomes a universal practice to pay the respect. We stand and keep the silence. So silence, that is the way to pay the respect. Silence also, you'll find the anti-gossiping. Try and stop yourself catching virus of gossiping. So most of the time we are gossiping. We are busy with the sound, noises, but silence helps us to protect ourselves. So silence is anti-gossiping, or silence is a medicine for gossiping people. If they practice, they can conserve their energy. Gossiping means energy goes away. But if no gossiping is there, you maintain the silence, you conserve that energy, mental energy for your production, for your manifesto talent. So silence also is nearer to God. You maintain the silence, sit alone, sit going on, thinking even nearer to God. So they call the silence nearer to God. Silence also reveals, reduce the physical pain, stress, and never hurts others. Whenever there is a fighting in the house, quarrel or fighting, so someone want to stay in alone in silence, because that silence reduce their mental pain. So that is used as a medicine to remove their stress, strain, because that time nerves become cool, heart rate become drops, pressure drops, then you get the rest, and that way silence works as a medicine, body relieves their pain. It never hurts others. And you will find silent people are successful in all fields, in educational, spiritual, any field with a silence, very humble, they are successful because through maintaining the silence throughout their year, they have conserved the energy, wastage energy. They save the wasted energy and conserve the energy to utilize in their own field to become a great person in spiritual life or educational life. So silence people are very successful and respected. There is a beautiful quotation. A fool is known by his speech, and wise man by his silence. Those are foolish who go on talking, like just gossiping, people can understand. And wise man by silence. Wise man always talk less and always maintain silence. Other people cannot. So silence, through silence, we can, is a one way, is a true wisdom, express our wisdom. But practicing silence is a technique, method to solve all our problems in the life. The more we talk, more we are agitated because our ego is hurt. And if you are in the silence, then you are saved. So that way, you see the silence is so much powerful. And through silence, if person can be powerful on manifest its talent through its power, maximum limit and maximum benefit you will get silence. So these are the few points of the power of silence. So it is essentially creative, everybody knows when we are studying, doing the preparing for the examination, you need silence. You close the door and ask, nobody should disturb me. I want to study alone in silence. So these are the incident or examples, instances we find in our life that we need silence. But out of fear of fail, we want to study hard in the silence. But if you practice to maintain the silence throughout the life, your life will be elevated and joyful. So these are the points you can ask. Any question is there? These are few points I already told you.
Yes, thank you, Swamiji. It was a wonderful discussion on such a topic which is very routinely important but less commonly discussed. Now, one small question, Swamiji, when there are situations in life where we are not sure whether we should speak or we should not speak. So, if we remain silent in those situations, is there any harm? So, how to apply this? What discriminative point we should utilize before we speak anything?
One solution is that whenever you are not uh, uh, decided or you are not able to judge what answer should be given, what is not given, you are in perplexed. So you can keep silent. There is no harm. I am not able to understand. If you silence, you can leave this place. So that what will happen? Better you will be in a good mood, in a nice mood. And always you have to give the answer that is not the correct one. Let him tell. But when there is a point where you need give the answer, you must give. But unnecessary, you should not talk and give advice or answer. When they need and you feel, and according to your understanding that yes, I should give the answer, you should give. But with a polite, silent manner. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Swamiji. Anyone wants to ask any other question? I think everyone is silent, Swamiji.
The person. Okay. Who are there last?
Akhil wants to ask. Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj. Pranam Maharaj. Uh, it has given much clarity to utilize this silence. And Maharaj, in our daily routine, the time comes like when we do washing the hot flow and other practices, we enjoy silence and we deliberately want to remain silent. But there is a part of the day when we are intensely active, and even I myself become very much surprised that I'm the same person which at one time feel and enjoy silence so much, and now I cannot keep quiet. I do not remain silent or inactive in this on this particular moment. So my question is how this taste of silence and mood of silence can be increased day by day more, and how to balance between the intense activity and the silence. I'm also not able to understand, a bit confused at whether I'm actually genuinely active at that particular time, my that is genuine requirement that I should be active, or I'm unnecessarily active because my mind is not so settled, so calm, quiet. That is a confusion. Please guide me in this regard, Maharaj.
Whenever there necessity, who will judge the necessity? The person facing the problems or any surrounding, he will judge whether necessity is there or not to answer or to participate in the debate or intense activity. That is also required when your activity, when intense activity is there. If mind is totally engrossed in it, so that is a healthy. Mind is not scatter. Scatter mind is unhealthy. Whenever do any work with the concentration, after that work you feel joy. But we scatter mind and grudging mind if we do, that we always feel bored and less interested in work and you are totally disturbed. So whenever they are necessary and with full concentration if you do it, and there are no scattering, mind is not going this side, that side, only focus on your particular point. That is a practice, that focusing the mind. And after that job, or after that task, you will feel little good joy, derived joy, as you find that task is over, you've done with full intention. So that is a greater joy, means that silence, power of silence, help you give you joy only. Here, intense practice help you intense focus mind on particular object. That also give you joy. So there is no harm. It is in work you have to do it, and it is healthy. It is not unhealthy. The point is that intense activity, your mind is totally engrossed in it, fully engrossed on it, then you will feel joy. It is healthy. You have to do the work. Then after that, when there is no work at home, other places, you keep silent, maintain silence. Unnecessarily, you will not involve, or you will not over unnecessary other things. Now it is. Have you got this?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. I got the point. Scattered mind and focused mind, the criteria. That. Yes, Maharaj.
Scatter mind and focus mind is give you joy. Even if you don't do the work in your office, it will give you joy also.
There is one question from Sudipto. Sudipto has asked a question. Sudipto is saying that even we keep ourselves silent, that is, we are not talking, but our mind is all the time talking. So, how to keep our talking mind silent?
See,
Use.
Mind is 24 hours talking, talking, talking. Mind is unrest. In silence, last time alone, how to be remain alone. And now the silence. To maintain silence or alone mind, activities of the mind will be less. Through this practice, maintaining this silence will be more, mental activity will be less. Mental activity means when you sit alone, there is a mental activity, but that is a less, comparatively less. That is why we feel little peace or joy or little rest, even with the silence. So you have to practice. Mind is always talk, and mind, nature of the mind is that he always want to stay attachment with the associated with the something. The mind is always with the object. Some object will be there, is associated. Even in the silence, you will find some mind is playing and mind is moving with the object, but less intensity. Very quantity or intensity is less. That is why I feel little better. But if you make a practice to mind to move with the God, see the nature of mind is that mind always stay associated attachment with the object, any object, good or bad. But most of the time it busy with the object. So if you practice to uh, stay with the God, mind should move with the God, thinking God has gone there, God is there. So that way mind will become silent. That you are not going, then mind is, you are in the silence mean outside disturbances is less. Now question is inside disturbances, movement of the mind. Movement of the mind will be lesser, lesser, lesser if we attach our mind to the God. I think this point is clear.
Yes,
Or
yes, Swamiji. Yes. So, uh, any other quick question, or else we'll close. Anybody wants to ask any last question?
Maharaj, today I read in your book practice chapter practice one quotation of Holy Mother that mind by its nature is very turbulent and goes towards the worldly things, and we should be very perseverant and very vigilant to attach mind to God, as you have also mentioned here. Turbulent mind can be calmed by attaching to the God. So only the regular practice and any other thing is there by which we can regularly attach the mind to the God. Anything which you want to tell us more in this particular regard? Because and then I
no,
think
you have to see, his point is that one thing is distinct clear. It is true that the more we incline or attach to the God, then silence is possible, to remain alone is possible, in true sense. Otherwise, to remain alone means, yes, outside disturbance is not there, but because mind is turbulent, mind will stay with something, some object. So it is going on, only intensity is less. Even in the be silence means, if I try to be silent, but still mind goes to my take mind goes towards the God related thing, then silence has a value. But even I try to keep silence, anti-gossiping, it is better than gossiping to stay in silence, even mind goes here and there. But still it is good. But better thing is mind always roam. So I should allow the mind to roam with God. Then silence, better quality of the silence we can develop. That is, it will practice introspection. Through introspection, it will come. When you are into maintaining silence, mind is roaming, you can introspect. Yes, I am in the silence, mind is roaming with the some object. That object should be God. So through introspection, no. Mind should go along with the God.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, Swamiji. I think we can close
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.